Yeah, good afternoon to you. I'm just wondering if we could start with team news, if that's okay.
Well, we've got just about everybody the same. We've got Pablo Fornals improving, and on the injury front, Angelique Bonner's closing in, getting much closer to fitness, but not quite there yet, and probably a bit away. Arthur and Yarmolenko are both getting much closer as well. So hopefully it won't be too long till we're back to a full squad.
And how crucial is this game in terms of your push for a top four finish this season?
It's incredibly important if we're pushing for top four, which we're going to try and do. But let's be fair, the words you're saying there, you're pushing for top four, is something which you wouldn't have sort of associated with West Ham that often, Rebecca. But we're going to try and do our best.
Arsenal obviously had the win against Tottenham at the weekend. How much of a confidence boost do you think will give their side? And what do you think are the main threats with this Arsenal team?
Well, I think Arsenal are an improving side. They've shown it in their performances recently. I think that Mikel's building a really good team there, and it'll be a tough game. I'm sure they'll have taken confidence from winning a local derby. But this is like our game. We're interested in West Ham. We know that Arsenal have got a lot of strengths in how they play, and we'll do our best to nullify them, but we'll do our best to put over what we're good at as well.
What did you make of Jesse Lingard getting an England call-up?
I'm really pleased for Jesse. It's great for him. His performances have warranted it in how he's played for us, and I have to say he's been very good. We just hope that continues. We want him to keep being positive and showing exactly what he can do on the pitch, and he's helped us. He's been a good acquisition to the squad in January, and as I say, I hope he can add a few more goals between now and the end of the season.
And do you think the fact that he has got this England call-up will strengthen West Ham's case to have him join permanently?
We've not thought about that really, Becky. We've not taken it any further at the moment. We've got him on loan. He's doing a good job for us just now. I think we'll discuss that and look at it probably near the end of the season, but it's not something which we've taken any further than the situation we're in just now.
All right, thanks ever so much. Hope it goes well at the weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. Anita, we'll come to you next. Thank you.
Afternoon, David.
Anita, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Glad to hear it. So Mikel Arteta said that he wasn't surprised by West Ham's improvement under you. And I know you just said before that Arsenal are an improved side. What have you made of his first full season in charge of the club?
Well, I think for any young manager to go into a club with the stature of Arsenal is a big job. And I think that there's been so much success spoken about Arsenal over many, many years and what they've done. It's going to be a hard job for MD. But the one thing Mikel's got is he's had a great playing experience. He understands the club from that point of view. He worked under a great manager in Arsene Wenger there. He's also had a chance to go and do a couple of years watching Pep working at Manchester City. So he's got a great opportunity to learn from that. But then he has to go on and be his own person as well. I think Arsenal were going to take a little bit of time to develop. I don't think it was going to something which he could do overnight and change. But I think they're starting to look as if they're going in the right direction. The one thing you have to say about Mikel, well, I know he won the FA Cup. Did they win the Charity Shield as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So you'd have to say, what a great start for any young manager to say that you're going to start and you've already got a couple of trophies under your belt. So he's had a great start in his early managerial career, and I've got no doubt it will go on and on.
You sound very supportive there. That's something that he's said about you in the past, and going into this transition of being a manager. I mean, what's your relationship with him these days?
Manager to manager. It was great when it was player to manager because it was easier to have a much better relationship. But I've got to say that he was a great player for me as well. When he was at Everton, we brought him in and he transformed a lot of the things we'd done. I've got to say him and Stephen Pienaar made an incredible difference at Everton, but Mikel was a big part of that. And the way we developed Everton over the years was Mikel was really important to it. And he'll have seen that. He'll have seen how that period, maybe not with the level of players he's got, that we had to build teams and find ways of winning in different ways. But Mikel will be, at the moment, sort of, I think, moving Arsenal in the right direction. And certainly they've got themselves in the quarter-final, I think it is, of the Europa League now. And I'm sure he'll be hoping that he can get them better in the league. But I hope it's not because of us. I hope we're able to beat them and he doesn't move up the league.
I just want to ask about that game on Sunday. I mean, how much of a boost would a win be for your side, especially going into the international break?
It would be terrific if we win again, Anita, because I think that we've done well. We're games, we've played well at home. We're beginning to show a bit more consistency in our home form. We're in a period of we've had some difficult games, I have to say. We've had Tottenham here recently. We've been to Man City, Manchester United. So we're in a sort of difficult run of games, Arsenal included in that. And I remember when those fixtures were brought out at the start of the season, everybody went, "Oh wow, West Ham have got a really tough opening part of the season," and that's the part of the season we're in again just now. So we're in a tough run of games. But I've got to say, we want to hang in there. We're trying to keep it up there with the top boys, and we're going to keep trying to pick up as many wins as we can.
So Jesse Lingard, you touched on him already. Really, what a great week for him. I mean, he wasn't available in your last game, but how's he looked in training this week?
He's looked very good, and I think since the day he came in, I think everybody's been a bit surprised how good his fitness is, how good his sort of all-round game is. I can see by the way he's working that he's even getting better. His physical data's got better, and overall he's been very good for us. He's helped us. He's gave us another string to our bow, and gave us some more attacking options. So we're really pleased with him.
Thanks, Anita. Phil Parry, please.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Excellent. Arsene Wenger, one of Mikel's predecessors, said quite a long time ago that London derbies quite often made it very difficult to achieve things as a London team. I think I was looking at it earlier, 12 points from 21 available so far this year for you at West Ham United. Double-edged question, really. Do you sort of understand where Monsieur Wenger was coming from on that? And has actually the lack of crowds had any sort of effect on that this year?
Well, I think missing the crowd here, certainly at the stadium, I think has been a big miss for us. And I do think we've had a good season. And whether it been because of London derbies or not London derbies, we're having a good season at this moment in time. I wish we had the supporters in to see it, because I would love them to see how well the players are playing and what they're doing. And the results have been going well. But I think that our last win against Tottenham here will probably be something which we try and think about. We won that. It was a tight game, really tight games. And I think probably Arsene Wenger's alluding to that in the point that I do think that if you're in a city where there's lots of derbies, I think it's very difficult to win them all, because quite often we've heard that, maybe the derbies are tight, it doesn't really, the form goes out the window a little bit, all those sort of things come into it. And I think if you're in a city where you've got 4 or 5 games and derby games a season, then it can become very difficult to win them all.
There's been quite a lot of talk about team spirit, I think, in the last day because of various reasons, but beyond that as well. How difficult is it? What's the secret of building a team spirit and a sort of togetherness and a collectivity, which you seem to have in bucketfuls this season?
Well, it's something which that all clubs need to have, however you get it. And it's actually a good question. It's like one of the questions, Phil, we would nearly ask, in the coaching courses nowadays, and when we're speaking with all the coaches, how do you build team spirit? And in the end, I put it down to winning. And that might sound a sort of very simple and not a good enough answer. But I think winning builds a spirit. It makes things a lot easier. I think while you're not winning, then you're having to find other ways of building team spirit. And certainly in this period in time where you can't do anything, you can't go out, you can't socialise together, you can't take the players away for a few days. It's been important then that we won, because we've got a really good team spirit going on at the moment, and we've got a good group of players who've all contributed, and we hope that continues.
And just finally for me, the reverse fixture of the Gunners was right at the start of the season. What's changed? What's developed, if anything, with your side, with your team since that first meeting?
Well, I thought we were a bit unfortunate not to get something out of the game when we played them at the Emirates early in the season. And actually, I think we changed that. I ended up with COVID after it. And, my assistant's done a brilliant job in the next 2 games. We won at Leicester and we won at Wolves, or Wolves and Leicester. But I think we'd felt it had been coming. We hadn't started the season so well, but we hadn't seen that in the pre-season. We hadn't seen that in the way the players were. We hadn't seen those results. So I hope that it was really the work we put in started to get fruition from it. But I've got to say the players since then have been great. And, we've taken it on and we've taken on a lot of big challenges and maybe a lot of games which we weren't expected to win. The players have done so. So I have to give the players a great deal of credit because they've done a great job.
Thanks, Phil. We'll
Cheers, Phil.
Cameras off there, please, now. Thank you. Simon, do you want to kick us off the written, please?